Hello, friends. Have you ever followed all the advice? Eat more fruit, it's good for you, only to feel heavier, stiffer, or less sharp than before? You're watching your sugar. You're skipping the snacks. You've swapped cookies for grapes, bananas, maybe even dried fruits. And yet, your knees ache. Your energy crashes. Your thinking feels foggy. It's confusing. It's frustrating. But it's not your fault. Because not all fruits work the same once you're over 60. Your metabolism slows. Your cells become more sensitive. Your medications start interacting differently. What used to nourish you might now be quietly draining your strength, spiking your blood sugar, or putting extra stress on your heart and brain. But here's the good news. You can fix it fast. In this video, I'll walk you through 4 fruits that support your memory, protect your heart, and balance your blood sugar. And 4 others you might need to avoid, especially if you're on common prescriptions or dealing with inflammation. If you've ever felt betrayed by healthy food, comment, "I want real answers" below, because you deserve clarity, not confusion. And the best place to start, a fruit that seems harmless, but could dangerously multiply the effects of over 85 medications. Let's talk grapefruit. Grapefruit, the hidden medication risk. If you're over 60 and starting your mornings with half a grapefruit or a glass of its juice, thinking you're doing something smart for your heart or weight, you're not alone. Grapefruit has long been viewed as a diet-friendly fruit, but very few people, especially seniors, are told what it could be doing behind the scenes, especially when medications are involved. The truth is, grapefruit contains natural compounds that sound scientific, called furanocoumarins, but their effect on your body is simple. They block one of your liver's most important enzymes. This enzyme group, known as CYP3A4, is responsible for breaking down nearly 85 medications commonly prescribed to older adults. That includes cholesterol-lowering statins, certain blood pressure drugs, anti-anxiety medications, immune suppressants, and even antihistamines. When grapefruit enters the picture, those medications can't be properly metabolized. They build up in your bloodstream, turning a safe dose into a toxic one. Just imagine taking one statin pill as prescribed, but your liver processes it as if you took 3 or 4. That's not a theory. That's documented science. The result? You may experience unexplained muscle pain, liver strain, or even dangerous kidney issues. Or maybe it starts with dizziness, fatigue, or a sudden drop in blood pressure that you brush off as just getting older. But what's happening is much more serious and much more preventable. Even a small serving of grapefruit or its juice can trigger these interactions, and the effects aren't temporary. The enzyme suppression can last for days, meaning you might still be at risk 48 to 72 hours after eating it. Here's the tough part. You could be doing everything else right, eating better, moving more, taking your medications faithfully, and still you're getting side effects not from your pills, but from your fruit. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness. If you're on any prescription medications and eating grapefruit regularly, it's time to have a conversation with your doctor or pharmacist. Because what seems like a small fruit choice could be the very thing undoing the benefits of the pills you're relying on. Now that we've seen how one fruit can interfere with how your body processes medication, let's look at another. One that may look perfectly innocent, but can wreak havoc on your blood sugar and inflammation, and chances are you've been snacking on it by the handful. Grapes, a little snack with a big impact. Think back to the last time you enjoyed a bowl of grapes. They were probably chilled, sweet, and easy to pop in your mouth without a second thought. Grapes feel harmless, almost like nature's candy. But what if that handful was doing more than just satisfying a craving? Let's take a closer look. Grapes are naturally high in a form of sugar called fructose, and unlike apples or pears, they contain very little fiber to slow that sugar down. That means as soon as you eat them, your blood sugar rises rapidly, giving your body a hit that feels good for a moment, but may leave you drained, inflamed, or achy an hour later. Here's where it gets tricky. Because grapes are bite-sized and refreshing, they're incredibly easy to overeat. You don't measure them like you would a slice of cake. But guess what? Just 1 cup of grapes can pack as much sugar as a small dessert without you even realizing it. And for those of us over 60, that quick spike in sugar can quietly lead to insulin resistance, increased belly fat, and even joint stiffness that seems to come out of nowhere. If you've ever felt more swollen or sluggish after snacking, grapes may be part of the reason. There's more. Excess fructose doesn't just stay in the blood. It's processed by your liver, where over time it can contribute to fat buildup in the liver and raise the risk of metabolic syndrome, a condition linked to diabetes, stroke, and memory loss. And this effect builds slowly, silently. And if that weren't enough, grapes, especially non-organic ones, often carry residues from pesticides. These can be harder for aging bodies to detoxify, especially if your immune system isn't as strong as it once was. Now, this doesn't mean you need to fear grapes forever, but it does mean we should treat them with respect, not mindless habit. Think of them as a treat, not a daily go-to. A small bunch with a protein source, like a few almonds, can help reduce the sugar shock. What matters most is this: you deserve to enjoy your food, but you also deserve to know the truth about what that food may be doing to your body. And if fresh grapes, full of water, can hit your system this hard, imagine what happens when the water is gone and all that's left is pure, concentrated sugar. Let's talk about the dried fruits hiding in plain sight and what they may be doing to your energy, joints, and blood pressure. Dried fruits, the sweet saboteur. You probably thought dried fruit was a smart snack, a better choice than cookies, right? Something small, natural, packed with fiber, and easy to grab on a busy day. But here's the truth most people never see coming. Dried fruit isn't just fruit. It's fruit intensified. When fruit is dried, it goes through a transformation. Water, the very thing that balances the sugar, gets pulled out, but the sugar, that stays. Concentrated, potent, and hidden behind a tiny chewy bite. Take raisins, for example. A full cup of grapes becomes just a handful of raisins. But the sugar content doesn't shrink. It grows. That handful contains up to 24 grams of sugar, often more than a glazed donut. And unlike fresh fruit, dried fruit has little to no water or volume to slow you down. You eat more before your body ever has a chance to say, that's enough. And then there's the other side of the coin, preservatives. To keep dried fruits from spoiling or turning brown, many are treated with sulfites, chemicals that can cause reactions in people with asthma, allergies, or sensitive lungs. Seniors with reduced lung function or chronic bronchitis may experience wheezing, coughing, or tightness in the chest, all from what they thought was a clean snack. Even the digestive system struggles. Dried fruits are often sticky, dense, and hard to break down, especially for those with slower digestion or irregular motility. What was once considered high fiber can, for some, become a source of bloating and discomfort instead of relief. Still, the most dangerous part might be how easily dried fruit sneaks into the diet. A little in your morning oatmeal, a little in trail mix, a few bites while watching TV. You never quite feel full, but the sugar silently builds. And your blood sugar goes right along with it. So what can you do? You don't have to ban dried fruit forever, but it's time to treat it like candy, not fruit. Limit your serving to a tablespoon, not a handful. Pair it with protein or healthy fat, like a few walnuts or Greek yogurt, to slow absorption. And when shopping, look for unsweetened and sulfite-free on the label. In small amounts, it can still be enjoyed, but in large amounts, it doesn't nourish. It overwhelms. And now, Let's move to a fruit that seems the opposite of sweet. It's firm, green, and often eaten with the best of intentions. But for seniors, it might be doing more harm than help. Green bananas, the gut confuser. Green bananas often carry a reputation for being the smarter banana, less sweet, lower glycemic, and seemingly better for your blood sugar. But for older adults, especially those over 60, this popular fruit can quietly become a source of digestive stress. Here's why. Unlike ripe bananas, green bananas are packed with resistant starch, a complex carbohydrate that resists digestion in the small intestine. That might sound harmless, but in reality, this forces your colon to work harder, fermenting the starch through gut bacteria. For younger, more robust digestive systems, this might not be an issue, but in aging bodies where digestive enzyme production declines, this can lead to a chain reaction of discomfort, that slow-moving, full feeling, the unexpected bloating after a light snack, the cramps that make you think something else is wrong. These may be signs that your gut is struggling to process resistant starch, and green bananas are a quiet contributor. And it's not just about discomfort. Resistant starch can slow the absorption of important nutrients, including zinc, magnesium, and calcium. These minerals are vital for bone strength, nerve function, and immune support. At a time in life when every bit of nutrient absorption matters, we don't want to introduce barriers. Unfortunately, that's exactly what green bananas can do. There's also the risk of gut irritation, especially for those with sensitive digestive conditions like IBS, diverticulitis, or chronic constipation. While green bananas are often labeled as gut-friendly, in older adults, they can do the opposite, feeding excess bacteria and disrupting regularity. And perhaps most frustrating of all is how deceptive they are. They look clean, natural, harmless, but even one small green banana can leave you feeling off for the rest of the day. So what's the alternative? Let the banana ripen. The moment you start to see brown spots, the banana has shifted. Its resistant starch has transformed into natural digestible sugars. It's easier on your stomach, gentler on your system, and less likely to disrupt your nutrient absorption. Want to go one step further? Pair that ripe banana with healthy fats, like almond butter or Greek yogurt. This balances your blood sugar and keeps you full longer, without triggering digestive strain. Green bananas might work well in theory, but in practice, especially for aging bodies, they often do more harm than good. Now that we've uncovered what to avoid, let's flip the script. Up next is a fruit that not only goes easy on your gut, but might just help protect your memory for years to come. Berries, the brain's best friend. Let's pause for a moment and talk about the organ that quietly works for you, even when you're resting, your brain. After 60, many of us start noticing little things. A name that won't come to mind, a word we used to say easily. It's easy to blame it all on age. But what if your brain is simply asking for the right kind of nourishment? That's where berries come in. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. They aren't just sweet. They're scientifically proven brain boosters. What makes them so powerful? A group of natural compounds called anthocyanins. These aren't just pigments that give berries their deep colors. They're antioxidants that travel directly to the brain, reducing inflammation and fighting the damage caused by free radicals. Studies from top universities have shown that seniors who eat just 2 servings of berries per week can slow brain aging by as much as 2.5 years. That's not theory. That's real, measurable memory protection. But there's more. Berries also support something many people don't realize is tied to mental sharpness, balance, and coordination. By improving blood flow to the brain and enhancing neural communication, berries can help you move with more confidence and reduce your risk of falls. And the bonus? They're incredibly gentle on your blood sugar. Berries are low on the glycemic index, meaning they won't cause the spikes and crashes that can lead to brain fog or fatigue. Plus, they're high in fiber, which helps your digestion and keeps you full without adding empty calories. You don't need a special recipe. Add a handful of blueberries to your yogurt. Sprinkle raspberries on a salad. Keep a bag of frozen mixed berries in your freezer and blend into a smoothie when you need a pick-me-up. The truth is, berries do something that few other fruits can. They protect your brain, lift your mood, and support your memory, all in one bite. And while berries give your mind the nourishment it craves, the next fruit gives your heart the strength it needs to keep going strong, day after day. Pomegranate, the artery healer. What if one small fruit could help your heart pump easier, your memory stay sharper, and your blood vessels stay open and strong, even as you age? That's exactly what pomegranate does. Often overlooked in the produce aisle, this jewel-toned fruit is more than just a pretty face. It's a circulatory system superhero, especially for adults over 60. As we grow older, our arteries naturally lose their flexibility. That means the blood doesn't flow as smoothly. The heart has to work harder, and over time, this added pressure can lead to hypertension, fatigue, and even heart disease. But the compounds in pomegranate, especially one called punicalagin, act like a natural anti-aging balm for your arteries. Studies have shown that pomegranate juice can reduce oxidative stress in the blood vessels by over 30%. Think of oxidative stress like rust in a pipe. It builds up slowly but weakens the entire structure. Pomegranate helps stop that process, restoring fluidity and strength to your circulatory system. But that's not all. Blood pressure is another area where pomegranate shines. In multiple clinical trials, regular consumption of pomegranate juice lowered systolic blood pressure, that's the top number, by up to 21%. That's not a small dip. That's the kind of drop that can keep someone off additional medications or even reverse early stage hypertension. And the benefits don't stop at the heart. Pomegranate also supports brain health. Its antioxidants cross the blood-brain barrier, helping to protect delicate brain cells from inflammation. In a UCLA study, seniors who drank pomegranate juice daily showed measurable improvements in verbal memory after just a few weeks. Imagine remembering names, appointments, or conversations more clearly without needing another reminder app. Even better, pomegranate doesn't mess with your blood sugar. Despite its naturally sweet flavor, it has a low glycemic index, meaning it releases sugar slowly and steadily into your bloodstream. That's perfect for anyone managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. You don't need much, just a half cup of seeds sprinkled on your salad or a small glass of 100% unsweetened pomegranate juice with breakfast is enough to begin reaping the benefits. And here's the best part. It's easy to love. The taste is tangy, refreshing, and a little indulgent. Health doesn't have to be bland. It can be beautiful, just like this fruit. So, while pomegranate keeps your arteries open and your memory sharp, the next fruit works in a different way. It supports your heart, but from the inside out, by balancing cholesterol, stabilizing blood sugar, and nourishing your body with healthy fats. Let's talk about the avocado. Avocado, nature's cream that heals from within. Avocados aren't loud. They don't stain your fingers like berries or burst with juice like citrus. But don't mistake their quiet nature for weakness. This creamy fruit may be one of the most powerful allies for your health after 60. Let's start with what most people don't realize. Avocado isn't just good fat, it's smart fat. The kind that fights inflammation, nourishes the heart, and fuels the brain without triggering blood sugar spikes or digestive discomfort. Unlike processed oils or saturated animal fats, avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, especially oleic acid. This compound helps lower bad cholesterol, LDL, while boosting the good kind, or HDL, creating a protective balance that keeps your arteries clear and your heart strong. But heart health is only one piece of the puzzle. Avocados also provide a potent dose of potassium. In fact, even more than bananas without the sugar. Potassium is essential for relaxing blood vessels, reducing sodium's impact, and balancing blood pressure, a concern that becomes more critical as we age. There's another gift hiding inside this fruit. It helps your body absorb more nutrients from the rest of your meal. That's because many essential vitamins like A, D, E, and K are fat soluble. Without healthy fats, your body can't use them effectively. That means you could eat all the colorful salads in the world, but if you're not pairing them with the right fats, you're missing out. Just a few avocado slices can multiply the value of your veggies. And here's the beauty of it. Avocados are incredibly versatile. You can blend them into smoothies for a creamy texture, spread them over toast, dice them into salads, or even eat them with a spoon, drizzled with lemon, a pinch of salt, or your favorite herbs. They're also low in sugar and high in fiber, which helps regulate digestion, keep you full longer, and prevent energy crashes. For anyone managing blood sugar or weight, this is a delicious and sustainable way to stay balanced. And perhaps most importantly, avocados feel good to eat. They're not just nourishing, they're comforting. They remind you that healthy food doesn't have to be bland or restrictive. It can be soft, satisfying, and full of life, just like you. So next time you plan a meal, don't just ask what's missing. Ask what can elevate the entire plate. Often, the answer is avocado. And for the final fruit, we return to something familiar, something simple, something that's quietly been protecting your body for generations, the humble apple. Apples, nature's built-in bodyguard. Of all the fruits out there, apples might be the most underestimated. They're not exotic, they're not expensive, and yet, what they do inside your body is nothing short of remarkable. Let's start with the fiber. Apples are packed with a special type called pectin, which acts like a gentle detox system for your digestive tract. It clears out waste, feeds healthy gut bacteria, and keeps things moving naturally, without pills, powders, or guesswork. But the power of apples doesn't stop at the gut. As we age, two things become harder to manage: blood sugar and cholesterol. Apples support both. The natural sugars in apples are wrapped in fiber, which slows down digestion and keeps blood sugar levels steady. That means fewer energy crashes, fewer sugar cravings, and a lower risk of developing insulin resistance. It also means protection for your heart, because that same pectin binds to cholesterol in the gut and helps move it out of your body. And here's something you may not know. The simple act of biting into an apple can protect your mouth. It stimulates saliva, which helps rinse away bacteria, lower acid, and reduce your risk of gum disease. That's especially important after 60, when oral health becomes deeply tied to heart and brain health. Now, a lot of people wonder if apples are too sugary. The truth? A medium apple has less sugar than a cup of grapes, and it comes packaged with water, fiber, and powerful plant nutrients like quercetin, which fights inflammation. One apple a day doesn't sound like much, but over time, it can make a big difference in how your gut feels, in how steady your energy is, and in how often you're reaching for something sweet out of habit. And the best part, apples are everywhere. No special store, no special prep, just wash, slice, and enjoy. Smooth transition. So now that you've got a clearer picture of what to eat, how do you make those changes stick without stress? Small swaps, big wins. Change doesn't have to feel overwhelming. In fact, some of the most powerful improvements come from the smallest decisions, made consistently. Next time you feel like reaching for grapes, grab a few berries instead. They'll still give you sweetness, but with less sugar and more protection for your brain and heart. Craving something chewy? Skip the dried fruit. Try a crisp apple or a few fresh pomegranate seeds. You'll stay satisfied without the sugar spike. Need an energy boost? Blend ripe banana or papaya into your smoothie instead of reaching for green bananas. Your gut will thank you. Want a creamy filling snack? Half an avocado with a sprinkle of salt and olive oil can stabilize your blood sugar and keep you full for hours. And if you're tired of skipping fruit altogether because you're confused, this is your path forward. Not through restriction, but through smarter selection. Small choices, repeated daily. That's how you go from uncertainty to confidence, from confusion to control. But even more important than what's on your plate is the story you believe about your body. You're wiser now, and that's your superpower. Maybe no one ever told you that the way your body reacts to food changes over time. Maybe you believed that if it came from nature, it had to be good. But today you learned the truth, and with that truth comes power. This journey isn't about avoiding fruit, it's about choosing what works for you now, what supports your heart, your brain, your energy, and your independence. You don't need to follow trends. You don't need extreme diets. What you need is trust in your body and the knowledge to support it wisely. One fruit swap, one better breakfast, one thoughtful moment at the grocery store. That's how it begins. And slowly those small wins stack into lasting wellness. So give yourself credit, not just for showing up, but for caring enough to learn. Because being over 60 doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you start growing smarter. Comment Smart Fuel below. If today helped you feel more in control, hit. Like if something in this video gave you a new way to think about your health. And don't forget to subscribe for real, respectful, and research-backed health advice made just for you. You're not done yet, not even close. You're just getting started. With better fuel,